Really? Well, because they didn't use any of our app. And we said, well, we're just going to stand here on TikTok. Chief, this is Ali.
All right, good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We have a few speakers. This morning we're going to start with Portland Police Chief Bob Day, followed by Sheriff Nicole Morrissey O'Donnell. Then we'll have Chief Goldberg from Gresham, and then Chief Wallace from the Port of Portland.
Good morning, everyone. Really looking forward to this opportunity today to announce that over the holiday weekend coming up, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, through a collaborative agreement between my partners here associated, Sheriff Morrissey O'Donnell, Chief Goldberg from Gresham, and of course Chief Wallace from the Port, we've all agreed that we want to make an effort to try and curb some of the retail theft that we're seeing in our community and highlight that during this holiday season. So the message is that we want people to come out, we want people to enjoy Multnomah County, to shop, to really embrace the kickoff of this season, and also understand that if you're going to come out and steal things, that we're going to be watching. And we're going to be watching not just in Portland, but in Gresham, throughout the county, in conjunction with the Port, really maximizing our resources. So the collaborative effort that you're seeing displayed today is really encouraging, and it's important to all of us that we demonstrate that we're all in this together. A couple of things specifically that I want to touch on from Portland's perspective. I've been very clear that we want to have an effort around both community, reducing crime and the fear of crime through community engagement and enforcement. Reducing crime and the fear of crime through community engagement and enforcement. The implementation of the walking beats downtown that started yesterday are a great example of community engagement. I'm going to be out tomorrow walking around downtown. I'm looking forward to reaching out, making those connections with our business owners and our community members. But also there's an enforcement component to dealing with crime and reducing the fear of crime. And that's what you're seeing here today. We're going to be operating this weekend in teams, working with retailers. We know that we've seen an increased amount of retail theft in the city of Portland. January to October of this year compared to January, October last year, we've seen almost an 80% increase in reported thefts. Since about March of this year, the Police Bureau has done about 20 to 25 focused retail theft missions to try and curb this activity. And arrests on our part are up about 130 some odd percent, 137. Mike can get you those numbers specifically. And we're seeing some return from that. We've heard from some businesses recently that were maybe even subject to closure or suffering under the strain of loss from theft, that they're now able to stay open, maintain a profit, and continue to be participating in the community and supporting the community. So we know that these missions have an impact. We're working with the district attorney's office for prosecution, et cetera, et cetera. So none of this is being done independently. We're really doing this on a regional effort.
Good morning, and thank you, Chief Day. Retail theft impacts all of our community members, including both small and large businesses, employees, customers, and the well-being of our community as a whole. As Sheriff, I am committed to creating a safe and thriving community in Multnomah County. During the holiday season, that means safe access to all of our shopping areas, whether that is by car or whether that is by public transportation, preventing car thefts and vehicle break-ins, as well as supporting an enjoyable holiday season for all community members. The Multnomah County Sheriff's Office is eager to be partners and join with the Portland Police Bureau, the Gresham Police Department, and the Port of Portland Police Department. And we are invested in this collaborative effort to address retail theft across all of Multnomah County. To help achieve our collective goals, I will be allocating up to 3 deputies each day during this mission. They will strengthen the efforts of our Portland Police Bureau partners to prevent crime and intervene when criminal activity is occurring. As the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office has offered in previous missions, we will also be offering mobile booking through our Corrections Division. Mobile booking streamlines the booking process, and it allows officers to be back into mission activities more quickly, making for a more productive and impactful mission. This countywide collaboration is a message to our businesses, to our shoppers, that we want you to have a safe and prosperous holiday season, and those who commit crimes will be arrested and held accountable. Thank you very much for your time today, and I will now turn it over to Gresham Police Chief Travis Goldberg.
Again, thank you all for being here today. As my colleagues have already shared, I appreciate the opportunity to talk about our participation in this holiday retail theft mission. Gresham Police and our public safety partners are making this a priority because we recognize the importance of combating organized retail theft and shoplifting. Gresham has experienced a doubling in reported theft since 2020, and we are aware that many thefts go unreported. We know that retail theft does not just impact businesses, it impacts our entire community, particularly our most vulnerable. That theft leads to businesses raising their prices to cover the rising cost of operations, putting a strain on our communities. The damaging effects caused by retail theft have been felt throughout Gresham and East County for far too long. This is why I assigned an officer to coordinate and lead our efforts to combat retail theft in Gresham. Officer Nathan Steele, who has been assigned the coordinating shoplifting missions, and in particular today's announcement, has been working with security professionals and our retailers to deter theft. We recently held a town hall meeting partnering with the District Attorney's Office to help educate retailers and security professionals on best practices, including encouraging thorough and accurate reporting of theft. We know it is going to take a collaborative effort and an intentional focus to successfully address this problem. I am hopeful and committed to working alongside retailers, loss prevention professionals, the District Attorney's Office, and our public safety partners here today to continue this work. As the holiday shopping season begins, we want our communities to know that we are working to keep the season safe. Again, I'd like to thank you for being here and getting this message out, and I want everybody to please have a safe and wonderful holiday season. And now I'll turn it over to Chief Wallace.
Thank you to my esteemed colleagues, welcome members of the media. Thank you for gathering today under this critical initiative, and we are proud and happy to participate in this countywide retail theft mission. As Chief of Police of the Port of Portland, I'm honored to stand alongside my partners, and we've been working for the last couple of years on issues just like this and how we can collaborate and pool our resources. By actively engaging in this effort, we send a clear message that property crimes will not go unchecked in our jurisdictions. Together with our law enforcement partners, we're committed to swift, decisive action against those who seek to exploit the holiday season for criminal gain. In the spirit of unity and shared responsibility, the Port of Portland Police is proud to contribute staff and officers to this mission, and together we'll make a meaningful impact in holding property crime perpetrators accountable and safeguarding the well-being of our community during the holiday season. Building shared prosperity for the region through travel, trade, and economic development, obviously as the port, cannot occur without accountability and justice. Accountability and justice are cornerstones of a secure and thriving community, and I appreciate and thank those who stand with us united in our commitment to justice and community safety, and thank you to my colleagues. Thank you.
Mike? Okay. You got questions? Right now we're just focused on this weekend. The area was scoped. So, you know, the very intentional effort this weekend. I'm hoping that we're going to be able to do some stuff ongoing. I mean, we've been doing retail theft missions throughout the year. So this is something that, you know, we're prepared to stand up as need be throughout the season, the holiday season, and even going into 24. I also want to recognize, I do understand that there are people that are sometimes in a condition where theft feels like their only way they can, you know, get subsistence, put food on the table. This is not an attempt at all to criminalize poverty or to not recognize the challenges that people are facing in tough economic times, but we're really looking at the more organized, larger impact that this is having on our community, and really feel like we need to take a stand and demonstrate that. That's a great question. How are people supposed to feel safe? It really is a combination of both addressing the crime that's happening, which you know, the ability to make arrests, the ability to have prosecution, to demonstrate a responsiveness to that, and then also creating that different experience. Yeah, so I'm not 100% familiar with what DA Schmidt's doing with all of these cases. Okay, so what we are looking at is wanting to make sure that we have an enforcement component so there's a level of accountability, but then the follow-through piece where we can talk with the DA's office about prosecution, opportunities for restitution, things like that. Yeah, so not to give too many secrets away, but it's both, right? We work very closely with loss prevention in these businesses, so we're not just out there randomly, driving around trying to get an understanding if somebody's stealing something. We work very closely with loss prevention. We're in communication with them. We have plainclothes officers that are doing observations, and then of course we have the uniform component. Yeah, so the question is, much of what we've been doing has been around the big box stores, big corporate, and certainly that has been consistent, you're right. And I think part of that's just because of the scope, right? They're seeing millions of dollars of losses in some of these businesses. But I'm very interested in making that connection with small businesses and working with, our folks to make sure that we're showing that same level of support. Yeah, so not to give too many secrets away, but it's both, right? We work very closely with loss prevention in these businesses, so, we're not just out there randomly, driving around trying to get an understanding if somebody's stealing something. We work very closely with loss prevention. We're in communication with them. We have plainclothes officers that are doing observations. And then, of course, we have the uniform component. There's been studies done in interviews that I've read where, they've interviewed prolific thieves who, when they pull into a parking lot, they drive around and look for what doesn't look right. Just having a police car visible can be a deterrent. So it's not just about catching people, it's also about creating that deterrent so that they don't even make the attempt to do the theft. So we don't want to be just super, concealed. So there's a combination strategy there about being visible, but also being, hidden so that we can make the arrests.
How did it come about this is a multi-agency effort?
Well, I got great partners. And I don't think this is a Portland issue. I think this is a community issue. And I think that the challenges that we're facing, we have to start looking regionally. It can't just be about Portland. And so, fortunately they picked up the phone and were gracious enough to join me on a little crazy adventure here right out of the gate. Yeah, I don't have the map in front of me, but I can tell you that we're going to be all over the city in, multiple locations over the course of several days.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. And I think I just want to add one thing. These retail theft missions have a huge impact on retail theft, but what we find is that they also, these folks involved have a connection to other crimes throughout the city as well. So I think that's something to keep in mind throughout this process. It's not just retail theft that we're taking a bite out of, it's crime across the community.